Welcome to our first installment of Between Two Plate Trees. I'm with our member Graham, and Graham has been a member of Starting Strength Dallas since the beginning. In fact, before the beginning, we could call you a charter member because you signed up for the gym before the gym was even open. So what on earth possessed you to spend, $500 for a product that you had never even seen before, sight unseen, and sign up for the gym, do your intro session in your first month of training? What?
Desperation.
Desperation.
No, I'm kidding. I'd read the book.
Okay.
And so I'd read the book, and through the forum and the Starting Strength website, I saw that the gym was opening. And so it was just coincidence. I'd been looking for someone to teach me the compound movements, and it was just perfect timing.
Okay, so good timing and blind faith.
Blind faith.
Okay.
I knew I could file a credit card dispute if I needed to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, how has that played out for you so far? What's your experience like been training here at Starting Strength Dallas?
Well, I've had a really positive experience. It's almost verbatim. Everything that I read in the book is actually happening here in the gym.
Like what?
Like massive increases in strength over a very short period of time.
Right.
And then also interesting is some of the writings about how much weight you can expect to gain, exactly how much poundage you should expect to see change has almost followed the book identically.
That's awesome. Let's talk about that a little bit. So you had the foresight to get a DEXA scan the day you started.
Yeah.
And your total mass was 197.9. And now here, 74 days later, about 2.5 months, your total mass is 215.4.
Yeah.
Which means that your body weight went up a total of what here?
17.5 pounds.
17.5 pounds. Okay, now that's really cool. But I think the really cool piece of that is, of those 17.5 pounds, where is it here? Lean mass was what? 13.4.
Yeah, so of the 17.5 that changed, 13.4 was lean mass gained.
Lean mass gained. So you only gained out of that 17.5, 3.9 pounds of fat.
Yeah.
Now, is that consistent with what your goals were and part of why you signed up?
Well, that's a good question. I didn't really know what to expect. I had been eating less. I knew I was going to gain some weight when I started lifting, so I was trying to lose some before I got here to kind of help accommodate that. But once I started doing the program, I was getting really hungry, and I was like, what I was doing is just not going to work.
Right.
And so I decided, if I'm going to be here and I'm going to be putting in the work, I might as well be putting in the eating as well. So I bumped up the eating to what I thought was approximately 400 to 500 calories more than what I was burning, and have done that for the past 2.5 months.
So you set your sight towards the performance aspect of the equation. In other words, eating to support the training that you're doing and keeping the numbers going up. And then the outcome of that was a significant increase in lean mass and a very small increase in fat, which, when you get to the point, if you ever get to the point where you want to lean out a little bit, having all that extra muscle mass is definitely going to help you burn more calories. You're going to have a bigger engine.
Yeah.
But in setting your sight towards improved performance, let's talk about that improved performance. So your squat from day one, July 1st, went from 155 to now, 74 days later, and 0 missed workouts, and that's an important piece of this, from 155 to 255.
Correct.
100 pounds gained on the squat in less than 3 months. Insane. Press went from 75 pounds to 125. 50-pound increase.
Yep. And I still feel uncomfortable with that one.
Still feel like, what do you mean, how? Oh, the movement, the technique?
Yeah, the movement itself feels very odd to put that much weight over your head.
I understand.
Yeah.
I get that. It is pretty cool, though, because you're holding it up, where everybody can see it.
Right.
I love the press. I think it's a lot of fun. Bench went from 135 to 180. So a net 45 pounds.
Yep.
And that's fairly common. The bench press is usually the one that's probably trained the most prior to somebody coming into the gym. It is obviously the easiest lift. We have, you go to any gym on Monday, you see everybody benching. You don't see near as many people pressing or squatting.
No, I've never seen a press.
So that's probably why. And then here's my favorite one, deadlift. from 180 to 315, a 3-plate pull. You had your first 3-plate lift
Friday.
last week,
Yeah.
late last week.
Yeah.
And we got some footage of that. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you got it done.
I got it done.
And that's what matters.
Yep.
And, you know, I think that that's part of the benefit of being here at the gym is knowing, okay, you know, at what point am I getting a little bit too far outside of perfect technique?
Right.
You know, having somebody in your corner to let you know, hey, man, you know, you got it done, but it might be time to back
Right.
off a little bit.
And that brings up a good point, because one of the things that I've noticed is that every time I've mentioned even anything to you or Jordan, there's been an automatic adjustment on the next set. It's not like you're going back and marinating on some big long process. There's instant feedback, and that's been really helpful. And the changes have been the correct ones.
Right.
I usually see the very next rep
Sure.
is a little bit easier or feels a little bit more stable than whatever I was doing before.
Right.
You know?
I think we've got a video, in fact, of you pressing, and one of my coaches, Jordan,
Yeah.
gave you a cue, and then the next rep is immediately faster,
Yeah.
immediately better.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's awesome, man. So let's back up just a little bit and tell me why you got started to begin with.
I got started because I was sick of trying things that I knew weren't doing much for me. I don't have any kids right now. I'm 37. I felt like it was a really good time to, if you're ever going to get strong, just start, go ahead and do it now while I have the time and the availability. So it really was just an exercise in seeing what I could do. And I'd been going to the gym, and it just, everything, my senses were going off saying, this isn't correct, this isn't correct. And I've got a couple of friends that are rugby players. They were telling me some of the things that they do, and I didn't know how to do a squat. I didn't know how to do a proper bench press, and definitely not at some of the weights that they were talking about. And so, well, how did these people get there? That's when I found the book, and through the book, I found Starting Strength Dallas.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. What advice would you give to yourself 2.5 months ago embarking on this program?
That's a good question too. I don't know. I think just show up and do it. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. I think that's when you read the forum and you read all the different things that are out there, like nowhere is there more misinformation than in fitness.
Oh God,
and
I know.
So I think that it really, some people just can't believe that showing up and doing a little bit more each time, it really is just that simple. And so, like, don't psych yourself out. Just show up, listen to the coaches, do what they say you need to do, and then don't go crazy with the food when you get home.
Good advice. Solid advice. Don't go crazy with the food when you get home. Well, Graham, thank you so much for joining me here, man, between two plate trees. And I look forward to seeing, your next 3-plate lift. Obviously, that's going to be on the squat.
Okay.
We'll get you there.
All right.
Man, you've made great progress, and I just can't wait to see what's next.
Appreciate it.
Great
Thanks,
job,
Brent.
man.